So just again to reflect on Tipperary's loss to Galway in the All-Ireland quarter-final at the Gaelic grounds. And a lot of people were talking afterwards about the tackle that brought down Seamus Callanan towards the end of the game, rugby sort of tackle. And I think anyone who's ever played a game of hurling looked at it and thought, pull him down. If I'm there obviously wanting Tipperary to win, sure, like, I think everyone's honest enough to say who they're cheering for when their county's involved. And I was thinking you have to pull him down, or knowing full well he's going to get pulled down, and not really being all that, not feeling all that aggrieved by it, because that's just the way it is. That's the lie of the land. I mean, we all know the letter of the law, but as it is, it does pay to foul, and people say, oh, there should be a sin bin. I mean, this is right at the very end of the game. Do people actually think a sin bin would have stopped that foul from happening? I can't see how it would, because there's what at that stage left. Just looking at it here. So Seamus Callanan gets pulled down by Tuohy. It's in the 70th minute. It's 2:22 to 3:22. So there's a goal in it. Going into injury time, is a sin bin really going to make a difference there? No, it's not. He would take it every single day of the week, and that's always the way it's going to be. And that's why in the last few weeks when we've seen some of these rugby tackles or trips or whatever it might be, I keep saying the only way to do it is cynical fouls have to be a penalty. And I'm not saying that just for Tipperary's sake here, because Galway won the game fair and square, and as I said, these were the rules when the game started, when the game was going on, and the Galway player did what pretty much any player is going to do in that situation. I don't see too many players deciding to not pull a lad down when he's true on goal, because the full season is on the line and potentially in All-Ireland. So I see no issue in what the player did in terms of using the rules that are there in front of you. In terms of is it great sportsmanship? Every team does it. So I mean, I didn't come away from that game laboured on that particular point. So if you want to change the rules, it has to be on the scoreboard. Sin bin is not going to change that happening. It might change it for other parts of the game, but even so, you only get a certain amount of goal chances per game. So cynical fouls should be, if it's going to be something like a penalty is better than a sin bin. I think every team would take a goal ahead of a sin bin, because you design your whole game plan generally to try and get goals. So yeah, don't want to hear about the idea of a sin bin, just the penalty idea. And if you want to tweak it to in the last 10 minutes of the game, that's when it's a penalty, and the rest of the game, the other 60 minutes of the game, if you're talking inter-county games, that if the cynical foul happens, it's a 21-yard free and you can only have 3 on the line. Just tweak it some way like that. But the only way to stop cynical fouling is punishing on the score sheet. We've seen it in Gaelic football. It has cleaned up the game an awful lot. That's fair enough. But hurling isn't as cynical from minute 1 to 70 as Gaelic football was, with all the third man tackles and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't happen as much because in your hurling you always have one hand holding a hurley, so I don't think you have 2 hands to pull. There's not quite the same amount of close jostling as you'd see in football, and that has cleaned up football a little bit. But if it was the same thing today in football and the guy was soloing through, he's going to get pulled down, and we're going to see it possibly in the Leinster final, which I'm about to watch here between Dublin and Meath, maybe in the provincial finals tomorrow, maybe towards the latter end of the All-Ireland series of football. So as I said, the only way to punish teams is on the score sheet, and let me know what you think.